super wild card weekend is here for the first time ever. We're going to have games on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And Brandon, I am excited. How about you?
Yeah, I'm really excited for this week. I think we got one of the best matchups I think you could ever hope for like wild card round. There is some really, really good matchups this year. And I think part of that is just because the league has been pretty even. I feel like a lot of divisions, especially like the NFC West and the AFC North, literally every week flopping from like first to last. So you had a lot of teams that were very similar throughout the year. And this is what you kind of see with the matchups too, I feel like.
No, absolutely. I have a few upsets, which we'll get into in a moment. But you want to go ahead and start things off, though?
Yeah, I mean, the first game I have on is the Vegas and the Cincinnati Bengals, and Bengals are 5.5 point favorites from what I see. I'm looking on Bet Online, and I think the Bengals are going to win this game. I think the Bengals offense is just too good. There's no way 5.5 is a lot of points though, with the Raiders team who's been playing pretty good lately. But I'm gonna pick the Bengals just because they're home. I feel like might kind of lean that way a lot in these playoffs, is kind of going with the home team. But I like 5.5. You want to put 5.5 on the Raiders? I think that's a very good odds on that. This could easily be a field goal game, I feel like.
I can see that happening, but I'm picking the Bengals. I am very high on the Bengals. I think you know that a lot of people know that I absolutely love the Bengals offense. Their defense is actually very underrated as well. I think they're going to win by more than 5.5 points, actually. And they're actually every year going into the playoffs, there's that team that you don't want to play. And I think that's the Cincinnati Bengals right now because their offense can score within seconds, just like the Kansas City Chiefs. I think they're the sleeper team of the playoffs. I don't think they're going to go to the Super Bowl, but I just love watching Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Joe Mixon. I mean, they have so many offensive weapons. And, yeah, I think Bengals are going to win pretty convincingly as well.
Yeah, I mean, I could totally see that happening. I would think everybody's dream, like in my opinion, my dream AFC championship is the Bengals and the Chiefs, because that would be like 50-50. Let's be honest. The Bengals do have a pretty good defense, and the Chiefs have been playing really well too. So this could go either way. But yeah, I could definitely see the Bengals winning by more. But for some reason, I feel like the Raiders, Derek Carr's been on it. Darren Waller's back. They're going to have Josh Jacobs. You got Brian Edwards done pretty well. They're missing, sadly, a receiver, but Zay Jones has done really well actually for them, who was doing nothing in Buffalo. And he comes over here and he's filling in for Henry Ruggs, and he's filling right in, man. So I really like their interim head coach. I think they should keep him, and I think they're going to show up for this game. I don't feel like this is going to be a blowout, even though I really, really do like the Bengals in this.
And the Raiders, they have a really nasty combo with Max Crosby and Yannick Ngakoue.
Yeah, they're going to get after
Burrow.
With the Bengals offensive line. They're going to get after him. That would be the biggest thing to watch is, the wide receiver, they're going to have to get the wide receivers open quickly because he cannot hold the ball on with Yannick and Max Crosby coming at him.
No, I agree 100%. Let's go and move on to the next Saturday game. There's only 2 Saturday games. So that first one, the Raiders and Bengals, is at 4:30 on NBC. Next up is CBS 8:15. The New England Patriots and the Buffalo Bills. They split the series in the regular season. This is a game I can see going either way. It just depends, I think, on the weather. Like if it's like, snowy and windy and rainy, this could be favored towards the Patriots because they do very good at running the football. They have a good offensive line. And the one thing right now lately, yeah, the Bills have been winning, but Josh Allen has not been playing the best football. He's been turning the ball over a lot, but he's very good using his legs and extending plays. With that being said, I am going to be picking the Buffalo Bills, but I think it's a close game and it can go either way, but give me Buffalo to win.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. The only reason I think I'm going with Buffalo is they're finally getting the running game involved. Singletary has been very good actually the last couple of weeks. They've actually been using him and they've been relying on him because, like you said, Josh Allen actually has not been playing that well. So you get a mixture of, you get Josh Allen to actually show up and not turn the ball over, and you get this running game that the Bills have been doing the last couple of weeks. Bills are actually now a very scary team. I was not scared of the Bills. Like when we faced them, when Miami faced them during that stretch, they just were one-dimensional. They just wanted to throw the ball 50 times and not hand the ball off. You knew what they were going to do. It wasn't scary. Now, if they get that running game early, now all of a sudden you got to play against Josh Allen running, Singletary running, or throwing the ball at Diggs. So that, and you got Dawson Knox on there. They're built to be a multi-dimensional team. They don't really have the running back group, but Singletary's starting to show up late. And that's all you need. All you need, like, look at Rashad Penny with the Seahawks. Forget they didn't do anything. Rashad Penny has done nothing his whole career. And he started almost getting 200 yards per game. So you just, once that guy starts getting hot and they're finding the holes and it's working, you need to run with that. So if the Bills keep that, the Bills are going to win. And I agree. I think the Bills are going to win this game. It's in Buffalo. The Mafia is going to show up. Still got a rookie quarterback. I know it's Belichick, but Mac Jones, this is his first career playoff game. It's going to be in Buffalo. It's going to be freezing cold. He's probably only going to throw like 10 passes, but if he does have to throw, I don't like their chances. So that's why I agree with the Buffalo Bills.
You know what's also crazy about Buffalo? I think they're ranked number 1 on defense in pretty much every category this year. And guess what? They had 0 Pro Bowlers on defense. That's unheard of.
Well, it kind of makes sense. Like when you think about their defense, there's not really like a guy that's like,
besides Tre'Davious White, but he got hurt half the way.
Yeah. Other than him, there's not really any, like, they're all solid, like they're not just crazy. You don't have an Aaron Donald. You don't have like a Devin White or anybody, like you don't have a Bobby Wagner on their team, but they play really well as a whole when they're clicking, and they hit the right time to start clicking, and
they're disciplined too. That's the most important thing. They don't get stupid flags.
So as long as the whole key is if Josh Allen doesn't turn the ball over, they're pretty much, I feel like they're going to win. And if they can get the Patriots to feel like they have to throw the ball, they're definitely going to win. So, and they're home. Give me the Bills.
All right, so we're both in the consensus of that one. Now we're going on to Sunday's game. We have 3 at Sunday, 1 at 1 o'clock, 4:30, and 8:15. We'll start with the 1 o'clock game. The Philadelphia Eagles at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is actually one of my upsets. I have a feeling they're going to be doing the same thing. I am picking the Philadelphia Eagles to upset the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The first time they played, it was a pretty close game actually, and that was when the Bucs had Antonio Brown and Chris Godwin. They don't have both of those. Also, their defense is a little shaky right now. The Bucs are, even though they are getting healthier, they are getting Leonard Fournette back. But I just got this weird feeling that Jalen Hurts and the offense for the Eagles are going to come in strong. They're going to come in swinging, and they're going to pull out the win down in Tampa. It does kind of suck though, because if Philadelphia does win, they are going to be going up to Green Bay, which I don't think they have a single shot at being the Packers at all. But this is a good experience. It is Jalen Hurts. I'm going to say his rookie year, even though it's not like really his rookie year. I'm going to sort of say it sort of is. So it's just good experience, good team builder, and just, get prepared for next year and make a big push. But I definitely think that they can pull off the upset, and I am picking the Eagles to win.
Yeah, I'll be a homer in this. I'm picking the Eagles. I would hammer that 9 points. 9 points is, to me, way too much. I actually put a $20 bet that the Eagles are going to win by 7 or more, and $20 is going to win me like $250. So I'm hammering that. This is, to me, the upset that's going to happen. I get everybody's probably like, it's Brady, it's Bruce Arians. Talk a lot about Brian Leftwich with his play calling and his leadership, a lot even with Jags and the whole head coaching search. But the Bucs are beat up, man. Like, yeah, they're getting some people back, but Leonard Fournette hasn't practiced in a couple of weeks. Now there has Devin White. Then you got Chris Godwin, Antonio Brown out. Gronk's always battling injuries. He always shows up, but he's always battling injuries. So their secondary's torn apart. I think this Eagles running game is one of the best running games in the league, maybe only behind the Titans when they have a healthy Derrick Henry, to be honest. They've been absolutely killing it with their committee, and they're going to keep running that committee, and it's going to keep working. And they're actually a pretty good defense. Like when people put Darius Slay has slightly been one of the best corners in the league this year. And then they got one of the best defensive lines. I could totally see this kind of being like an upset. I get on maybe, I'm also a homer. I can understand being like Nick Sirianni versus Bruce Arians, Tom Brady versus Jalen Hurts, Tom Brady. So if you go like that, you're kind of like, oh, well, the Bucs are going to win this. It's in Tampa. I don't know, man. I just got a feeling that this to me is the one upset that I think is going to happen in this playoffs so far.
Yeah, we both agree that there's going to be an upset down in Tampa Bay. I also kind of hope that Tampa Bay offense, it looks good for Byron Leftwich, sake of things. But so that way they lose though, so that way we can go ahead and name him head coach. He's here next week. That's what I'm hoping for. So that's also another reason I'm kind of picking the Eagles as well. Let's go to the next game. The San Francisco 49ers at the Dallas Cowboys. This is actually my other upset. I am picking the 49ers to beat the Cowboys, even though Cowboys, they have a very good defense. Their offense is star-powered. They can score anytime. Offense line is still very good, but lately the 49ers defense has been playing really well. They had a nice comeback win over the Rams. They just been playing very good football on, all sides, offense, defense, special teams. Jimmy Garoppolo has played, I think, fairly well. Offense line's doing well. They have a good running game. Deebo Samuel's a freaking monster. He's really good at receiving. You can utilize him as a running back. Brandon Ayuk is finally, starting to get that steam of what we all thought he was going to be at the beginning of the year. And I'm a big 49er believer right now, and I think the 49ers are going to pull off the upset. I think we're going to see 2 upsets on Sunday.
Yeah, so we'll differ on this one. I'm going Cowboys. But this was the one I looked at, man. I'm still you could argue either way for me. That both offenses are completely loaded. If you look at it respectively, wide receiver wise, tight end wise, offensive line wise, quarterback. I mean, Jackson may be better than Jimmy Garoppolo, but Jimmy Garoppolo hasn't been terrible. He's a game manager, and he's letting Deebo Samuel, Ayuk, even the rookie. I think he's a rookie. Isn't Juwan Jennings? Or he's very young. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think this is his rookie year, but maybe it's like his second year or whatever. He had a really good game against the Rams. He was owning the Rams secondary. Like whoever they were, it wasn't Ramsey, but I can't remember whoever. It was like some guy filling in for them, and he was killing them all game. So I would watch. They're Elijah Mitchell, Jeff Wilson, you name it. They're done really well. Cowboys really well. I think this is a nail biter. But I think the Cowboys are going to end up winning it just because Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Ezekiel Elliott, Tony Pollard, I think is a better overall duo. I guess not really a duo per se, but offensive weapons compared to Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel. Deebo Samuel is probably the best out of all of them, but I think as a whole, the Cowboys have more options to explore with. I think that's going to end up winning the game for them.
Yeah, I can go either way, but I'm still sticking with the 49ers. I agree. It's going to be a nail biter. It could be one of those in the fourth quarter where Niners score, Cowboys score, Niners score again, Cowboys score. Like they score like 4 or 5 touchdowns combined in the last 6 minutes. I can totally see that happening. Similar to Go ahead.
No, I didn't mean to. I could see it going the other way too. I could see this being a defensive game. Both teams have one of the top defenses in takeaways this year, I'm pretty sure. So you got Bosa on one side, you got Lawrence, you got Randy Gregory, you got the 49ers defense isn't as good, but they always play good. Fred Warner is on one of the best linebackers. You could honestly, I'm not touching this game at all betting wise or anything like that. This game could go, I could see this somehow being like a 13-9 game, and I could see this being a 40-40 game. It all depends on the flow of the game and how it starts taking place, I feel like.
No, absolutely. I agree. It's definitely another great game for the playoffs. All these playoff games are really good, except for the Sunday night game, the Steelers at the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are 12.5 point favorites, maybe 13.
Yep,
I would actually take that
right now.
I would take that. I think the Chiefs are going to blow the Steelers out of the water, unfortunately. So back in the day, I used to hate the Steelers so much, but lately I've been kind of starting to, I don't mind them. I just don't mind watching the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
Jags and Steelers used to have that rivalry, even though Jags owned them most of the time. I've always hated the Steelers, but I don't know. Past few years, I've been kind of not minding them. So I'm somewhat kind of rooting for Big Ben a little bit, to go out on a good note. But I think the Chiefs are going to win by at least 14.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Steelers are going to try to start this game off by just running Najee Harris down their throats. Because Ben Roethlisberger, he's proven he can't do it anymore. He should have had the 4 interception against the Ravens. He threw one that was one of the worst thrown balls I think I've ever seen, deep route, where the guy was double coverage and the Ravens guy just jumped up and got it. It was not a good throw at all. And this could be a defensive game because the Steelers defense is still really good. You still got, TJ Watt just tied. Did he beat it or did he end it up? He tied. Yeah, I thought so. He tied Michael Strahan's. And he only did that in 14 games playing. Yep. So TJ Watt is legit. He's going to be a future Hall of Famer. So you got that on the other side, but the Chiefs built this offensive line just for this purpose. They faltered last year because their offensive line was not good at all. So what they do, they completely revamped their entire offensive line, and it has worked for them. Their defense is clicking. I agree. I think this might be a 3 touchdown score difference when we look at the end of it. And I could see the backup. Is Chad Henne still the backup?
Yep.
I could see Chad Henne in this game. Honestly, by the fourth quarter, I could see Chad Henne in this game and finishing off with some QB kneels or just some handoffs to whoever their backup running back is.
I'm pretty sure. So I think Chad Henne actually came in the fourth quarter last time they played a few weeks ago in the regular season. And They actually were letting him throw a little bit too.
I mean, he's not a bad thrower. He literally won them a playoff game. What was that? Was that 2 years ago?
No, last year with the Browns
Was
won.
that last year?
Was it the
I can't-
Browns?
It all merged
Yeah.
together now. But yeah, it was against the Browns. I think that was last year because that was the only time the Browns were in the playoffs. But so yeah, man, Chad Henne is not terrible. I mean, we see him here. His career backup, but we're gonna see Chad Henne in this game.
And Chiefs defense, I don't know why they do this every year. Their defense every year starts off so terribly bad, like historically bad, and then the last 6-7 games they want to become the best defense in the league.
Right.
Although they did it again right now. So I mean, besides the Bengals game.
Yeah, I was going to mention that Bengals game. They did not. I don't understand what they were doing late in the game. They were just one-on-one with Jamar Chase. Like, why? Jamar Chase is owning you the whole game, going down on the last drive. And you decided to do one-on-one, no safety help on Jamar Chase. Like, you saw Burr's like, just throw it. Who cares? He's going to get it. And the fact that they didn't make that adjustment was a little frightening, but that they're not going to have to worry about that this game. But when they face like the Bills or the Bengals again coming up, they're going to have to really reevaluate, I think, how they have been playing defense, at least on the secondary and against really talented teams.
Yeah, I agree, man. This is going to be a blowout. But next up, we have Monday Night Football for playoffs. So it's definitely going to be interesting. It's kind of weird to say, but we got the Arizona Cardinals at the Rams. This is a game I can see going either way. I think this comes down to one thing. It comes down to what Matthew Stafford are we getting? Are we getting the Matthew Stafford for beginning year and sort of towards the end, or are we getting that middle stretch Matthew Stafford where decided to be a interception machine and throw interceptions left and right? I'm leaning towards that. It's going to be the early Matthew Stafford, and I think the Rams are going to defeat the Arizona Cardinals.
I'm going to stick with the Cardinals personally on this one. They've kind of been my playoff Super Bowl favorite since almost the season began. I really like their team. I like Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins, Chase Edmonds, James Conner. I don't remember.
I think JJ Watt returns, actually, if not mistaken.
JJ Watt was activated. I don't know how much he's going to play. I'm sure he's going to want to play every snap, knowing him. I like the Cardinals. I'm not a fan of the Rams lately. I feel like they've been in a lot of close games. Cam Akers coming back, but it's just something about them. They just haven't been performing like I thought they would be performing looking at that roster. And to me, that worries me. Sean McVay, though, is a coaching genius, you could say. You see all those videos of him just being able to recite play calls that were like 3 years ago on some random play. So I don't necessarily know if that'll help them. We got battle of the young coaches and very talented teams. And this could go either way, but personally, I think I like Arizona in this just based on the Rams' recent performances. I don't think have been great. And at SoFi Stadium, we could see more Cardinals fans than we could see Rams fans at this too.
Basically the 49er home game last week for the.
Yeah. I mean, Scottsdale, Arizona is right there. Glendale, whatever you want to call it now, over there in Arizona, or we can say Phoenix. Can we say the Phoenix Cardinals again one more time?
Yeah, let's go and do it.
The Phoenix Cardinals can just go in there, and I mean that's only a couple hours drive. So I think that it's going to be packed in Cardinals fans.
Yeah, I agree with that part. I do hope the Cardinals win. Not the biggest Rams fan, but I am actually. I think that my beginning season prediction before the regular season started, Packers versus Chiefs. I think there's a good chance it's going to hold up though.
I mean, that's why wouldn't it at this point? You got to think Packers got to be the favorite for the NFC and the way the Chiefs have been playing. But I think the AFC is more open. I could see the Titans winning. I could see the Chiefs, like Bills, even the Bengals. Like there's literally like 4 teams where I'm like, I would not be surprised if they're in there. With the NFC, it's pretty much the Packers. Like if the Packers are not in the Super Bowl, I'm going to be very like an upset clearly happened, especially having to go through Lambeau. Like something went wrong.
It's kind of reminding me of last year's Tampa Bay team. Offense phenomenal, and their defense is playing really well right now too, up in Green Bay. Yep. Something that I remember beginning of the year, you and me both said Packers have a terrible defense. They turn around their defense.
They're getting Smith back too. I think Za'Darius Smith just got activated too, and he was their best pass rusher. And they get a week off. He's going to be healthy again. If you get a healthy Packers team in Lambeau, like you said, whoever went, I think the Eagles or who would go up after that? If the Eagles lose,
Niners.
Yeah, the Niners are
I don't think it matters. I think
either way, what team's going up there is going to lose. Even if it's the Eagles, I don't think I would pick the Eagles versus the Packers.
I think whoever plays them next week, I think Packers are winning by at least 14. That's just me though.
Yeah, I mean, it could be closer. The Lions play the Packers very well. I get the Packers are probably mailing it in, but most of the Packers starters were playing that
Yeah,
game.
they pulled them. I think what second half they did. They didn't
Yeah.
play them.
So who knows, man? We could see what happens, but I personally think the Packers are going to win, go to the Super Bowl. We'll see who they're facing in the Super Bowl, but they're my favorite in the NFC.
Yeah, I agree 100%. But other than that, thank you all for watching. Go and hit that subscribe button. Also follow us on Twitter. We'll put the link below. 904 more and go Jags.
Go Jags.